lots of people ask me how RTP proxy works and how to install it. So I dedicated this video to RTP proxy. So after RTP proxy is installed, RTP proxy is a separate daemon, a separate module. So you have to start RTP proxy and connect RTP proxy with OpenSIPs because there are some communication between OpenSIPs and RTP proxy. So usually the flow is like here. You have the user agent one, it sends a SIP invite, and when OpenSIPs receives the invite, it sends a message to RTP proxy to allocate ports and receive the response back which ports to allocate, which UDP ports or TCP port. Actually, UDP ports for RTP. And then it changes the session description protocol with the allocated ports of the RTP proxy and send this invite ahead to the user agent 2. The user agent 2 sends the 200 OK. This 200 OK goes to the OpenSIPs. OpenSIPs have this ports allocated, so it allocates the second pair of ports and change the session description protocol to send the 200 OK to user agent 1. There's acknowledge and the call is connected. Which SDP address and port is connected here? The one of the RTP proxy. So after changing the SDP on the invite and changing the SDP on to 200 OK, the user agent, rather than sending the RTP directly to the user agent 2, it sends the RTP flow to the RTP proxy. This flow goes to the user agent 2, and the user agent 2 responds to the RTP proxy. So in this RTP proxy, we have a bridge to connect this media flows, and you can see this on SNGraph. SIP by, once the OpenSIPs receives the buy, it sends a closed session and close the bridge between the two users. This diagram is actually very useful. Now let's see how to install. Okay, now let's install RTP proxy. I'll get this RTP proxy 121. It's one of the most stable, and I will do a wget, right? And to install, it's actually very simple because it installs in EOSR SRDIN. Let me do a D package. Okay, so install. Now I can have to go to etc default RTP proxy. etc default. And usually you have the RTP proxy here. Wow, file was there. So funny. Oh, let me see what I did wrong. I did a CD, obviously. Sorry. Okay, so control socket, UDP. Here I will use a different one. I will use 7899. It's actually the UDP port. Sorry, the UDP port for the control channel. Extra options, I will use -L 0.0.0.0 listed on this port. Actually, RTP proxy has many options. We can, if you do man RTP proxy, you can see all of their all the options. So in the man RTP proxy, you see you have L for listen. You can use, let's say, 2 to send RTP proxy twice, -F to force foreground mode. And listen is address 1 and address 2. So address 1 is the IPv4. If two addresses are provided, you are working on a bridge mode when you have two interfaces on your server. And -6 for IPv6 addresses. -S is the control socket, like the one I changed it. TOS to set the type of service, record directory, pool directory if you want to record a call, so you can record the calls. Do not record RTCP if you don't want. PID file, max TTL, minimum port and maximum port. This is very important. So by default, 35,000 and 65,000. So which ports do I have to open in my firewall? If you don't say anything, if you don't pass this parameters from 35 to 65. Dash U, the username, in our case is RTP proxy. Dash F for forcing it will warn the user if running as a super user. Independent timeout mode. This is our timeout that we can use with OpenSIPs to time out a call that has been passed some time. P to record sessions using the PCAP format, and dash D is also something that we use sometimes. We use dash D, let's say log local 5 or debug log local 5 if you want to send to the syslog the message of RTP proxy. So we use the very simple configuration just with listen. And now I'm going to do systemctl restart RTP proxy. Restarted. If we do a status, is there running? If we go to OpenSIPs, vi opensips.cfg, let me go to RTP proxy here. You need to have RTP proxy here. And in my case, it is using the DB URL, MySQL RTP proxy. So I have on the control panel to set the RTP proxy. So let me go to the OpenSIPs control panel. Let me see here if I have 209. Okay. Admin. Sorry. Okay, so let me show it here. This is a different server, so on system, I can go here to RTP proxy. And here on RTP proxy, I have to configure an RTP proxy. So let me add an RTP proxy here. So UDP 7899 set ID. The set ID one is the set. You can add several, and they will load balance. Let me do a reload. Yeah, great. So it's reloaded. Now my server is connected to this RTP proxy. So basically you have to install the RTP proxy as a different demo and integrate with OpenSIPs using the control panel, adding your RTP proxy. Can you have more than one? Yes. They do load balance automatically? Yes. Can you have 10? Yes, you can have 10. Can I record on all 10? Yes, you can record on all 10. So it's very flexible and very simple to use. Thank you for watching this video.